Hi everyone, here we have a quick litigation-oriented demo of Liquitext. So let's say you're a litigator and you have a client who had a medical procedure, but unfortunately, instead of success, she just ended up with some inflammation. Your client blames the surgeon, but the surgeon claims that your client was never a good candidate and he warned her about this. Now this is the Liquitext editor where we're going to prepare for this case. On the left, we have our documents list. These are all the documents we're going to need for this project, organized into folders. In this case, it's only a few, but in a real project, it could be many thousands. In the middle is the document reading area with the document or documents I'm working on now, and on the right is the workspace where I take my notes and build my argument. Now, my first question is whether our client was even a good candidate for this procedure. So for that, we'll make a little box over here, and we'll say, was she a good candidate? And we'll just tag this in red. And to find out, we'll go over to the documents list and go to this article from a medical agency. And we see that it says most people are good candidates for this procedure. So we'll just take this and pull it out into the workspace just like that. And so you see now I'm mixing bits of my own thoughts with bits of the original text. Now, what is this little white arrow here? That is your magic home button. Wherever you are, you just tap this and instantly get right back to the source. You're never more than one tap from your context. Now, over here, it mentions a figure a few pages down. I'd like to compare this text and the figure. So in Liquitext, I can actually squeeze the document together to bring the text and the figure side by side. Now I can see them together. It turns out this figure will be helpful, so I'm just going to select it and drag it out into the workspace as well. And so you see now I'm starting to mix text, images, and my own thoughts to form the backbone of my argument here in the workspace. Okay, so let's find out if she's actually a good candidate and go over to her patient medical record over in my documents list. We see she has diabetes, hypertension, and arthritis. So if we follow the little algorithm, we can very quickly see she's in the closely monitor category. Okay, I want to note this over here. And so I'll say she is in closely monitor. But I need to do more than note it. I need to justify it. But the justification is here in her medical record. So how do I connect these? Well, in Liquitext, you can connect anything to anything. I'll just draw a line from the medical record into my notes. And Liquitext creates a living line, an ink link, between my document and my notes. So even if I'm in a completely different document, I can always just click this link and instantly get right back to what it points to. I'm never more than one tap away from the justification behind my arguments. Okay, now we know what category our client is in, so why did the procedure fail? To find out, we'll go to some notes I took earlier, and we'll go back to our documents list, and we'll go to the surgeon's deposition transcript. I've already highlighted some of the key points. The first thing I'd like to do is see them together. So I'll go over to Highlight View, and now I can pinch the document to bring all of the highlights together. I can pinch apart for more context and pinch together to see more of an overview. Now, I happen to be doing this on a touch screen, so I can literally pinch my fingers against the screen. On a traditional mouse and keyboard device, you would just use your scroll wheel. Well, this is a very powerful visualization, but unfortunately, I don't see any obvious mistakes on the part of the surgeon. So maybe there's something in the lead nurse's deposition transcript that would help us, though. So you see, I have the lead nurse's deposition right here in the documents list. I'll just bring this out as well. And you see, now I can bring them up together, side by side. So now, as I go through this, I see something that is interesting. I see the surgeon claims that this procedure took about 15 minutes to complete, while the nurse claims that it only took 10 minutes. That's a pretty significant discrepancy. I'd like to capture that. But how? These are in two completely different documents. Well, again, Liquitext lets you connect anything to anything. So I can just write conflict and create an ink link from the one document into the other. And it creates, again, a living line, an ink link between my two documents. What this means in practice is that we're in court. Opposing counsel says the procedure took 15 minutes as we're looking over the surgeon's deposition transcript. Instantly, I have the link I need to see that no, the nurse claims it took 10 minutes. No fumbling through my documents. I get the information I need when I need it. Now I'll pull both of these out into the workspace so I can keep track of them for later. And note that wherever I am, I can always tap these links to get right back to both of these documents again. So it looks like the surgeon may have messed up the timing, but it's still just my conjecture that that could have caused the procedure to fail. To get some more evidence, let's go back to our documents list and go to the phase 3 clinical trials for this procedure. There's a lot of information here, but I just want to see if any one of the trials had the same problem as our client, inflammation. So we'll do a quick search. And you see there are 5 results. I'd like to see them all together. So again, I can just pinch the document and bring all the results together. This is personally one of my favorite features of the product because it lets me effectively pivot my document on a word or a phrase. Let's take a look at this result, see if this will help us. Nope, that one's not going to help us. What about the next one? Ah, yes, this one helps us. There was someone in the trials who had the same problem as our client because the surgeon also made a mistake on the timing. I'll bring this out, highlight it red, and you see the source becomes red as well. At this point, I think we have a pretty good theory for the case. Let's make a note about our conclusion here. Conclusion: the surgeon made a mistake on the timing. A simple conclusion, but I think it gets the job done in this case. Since this conclusion is dependent on these excerpts I pulled out, I'd like to show that. And so I can simply draw lines, connecting them together. And so you see, now I can start to basically build a simple mind map here in my workspace. Now I'd like to send all this off to the court. The court does not want my mind map, it wants my Word document. So I simply go to Send, select Notes Outline, and Liquitext organizes all of my notes and highlights into a nice linear document that I can send off to Microsoft Word with almost one click. And see, here it is in Word. Now I can reformat it and reorganize it into the final form that we need for the court and send it off. Now this is just an introduction. See our other videos to learn about our generative AI integrations, tagging, and more. Thanks for watching.